This is Brent Conley, and I am interviewing Darwin Wall today with Ball So Hard Real Estate, a great agent and leader in Chandler, Arizona. I reached out to you because you're an industry leader. You're growing your team. You've succeeded at a high level. I follow you on social media and all that stuff. So, and some of your team members. And I just said, hey, that's an interesting guy. I know he's producing at a high level. He's done some huge luxury projects, and I'm just curious. So I was wondering here, tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what kind of production you did last year, and what you're focused on this year right now.
Last year was great. It was a great year for probably most everybody, right? This year's a little different. Things are slowing down, but we're still busy. We're just doubling down on the basics right now and getting back to doing the open houses and working our listings and hitting our network up more in our database.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about your team. How many agents are on your team?
There's 13 of us. We have a marketing admin, all full-time agents, primarily East Valley, but we're in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, West Side, Casa Grande. We're kind of all over the place, but our main focus is East Valley.
Okay, great.
Do a lot of luxury stuff, but like I said, anything under the sun we're doing, whether it's mobile homes or land or whatever.
Okay, cool. So I think I saw a recent, I think it was closing within the last couple months of a big Paradise Valley listing, right? It was millions of dollars. What was that?
That was a $7 million spec house, a new build. So we do a lot of stuff in PV, mostly new construction. So those are nice big ones.
Yeah.
But like I said, we do stuff all over the place, but the PV market's been good to us for sure.
Good. And so how many builders are you working with right now?
My family are builders. My dad is, and then my two brothers are. So that's kind of how I got into real estate, through my dad. And we have other builders outside of that we've worked with in the past before. So we've worked with several different builders in the past. And then we just sold one. My dad and brother built one in Queen Creek, a spec, a new build. We just sold that a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. Okay. So how many specs a year, moving forward, since the market has changed, are you expecting the builders, to start completing, and are they bailing on projects right now because of the rates and stuff like that?
Kind of sitting on the sidelines right now, waiting to see what happens with the lot prices, and the construction prices have been, if concrete's not up, lumber is, or this or that, and there's a shortage and supply chain. So they're kind of sitting on the sidelines right now. They do have some lots of inventory, but just kind of waiting and see what happens. But they usually build several homes a year. But when it's the bigger houses in PV, those are only 2 a year. But if it's smaller stuff in, Queen Creek, East Valley, then it's more than that, because it doesn't take as long to build, obviously.
Yeah. Those are exciting projects. I flipped a lot of property over the last few years in Scottsdale and East Valley and stuff. And it does take your focus away for sure.
It does. They're fun. They're fun to market. We love selling them. They're fun to market and great for social media videos and content and all that stuff.
Yep, that's right. Okay. So tell us, so you got 13 agents on your team. They're doing open houses. Like, are you guys doing open houses every single weekend now that the market has shifted a little bit and there's an opportunity for that?
We are. And I've always been big on open houses. That's how I kind of built my career, is just did them every weekend, because I didn't like cold calling. I didn't like door knocking. And I felt like the open house was like my store, and people are coming to see me in the house, and I'm not up in their business in their face. So I always liked open houses. I'm a big fan of them. Like I said, that's how I built my business. So I'm pushing my agents, especially my new ones, to do them. Even today, I'm like, hey, you got to do an open house this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And so we're pushing those hard.
Yeah. How are you marketing those for the agents? Because it's hot in Phoenix right now. So like when early on in my career, I did a lot of open houses. I hated open houses in the summertime.
Yeah.
So
they're brutal. But you're going from an air conditioned car to an air conditioned house. Honestly, MLS, just make sure they're in there is like the big one, because that feeds Zillow and Redfin and all the third party sites. But we put them on social media, obviously. Maybe we'll email blast them. But the big thing is put them in MLS, because that feeds, like I said, Zillow and Redfin and all those
Yeah.
other sites, you know.
And then are they inviting the neighbors and doing 10 across the street, 10 on each side of the house to try to get some more traffic through there?
Yeah, the 10, 10, 20, the door knocking. So we, not every time, but we'll do that a lot. Invite the neighbors over. That's always good to do, to get neighbors in there, obviously. Yeah.
Okay. And what other lead generation sources are you guys using as a team?
Well, let's see. Like I said, we're doubling down on the basics. So we're doing, the database is the big one. Mailers, pop buys, any kind of personal touch we can do on our database, whether it's a text, a DM or whatever, email blast. We do a lot of client events. Like we have a pub crawl in October every year for breast cancer in downtown Chandler. So we just did a golf tournament in the spring because we have a charity, a 501c3, the Darwin Wall Team Foundation. So we're big on the client events, right? So that helps us out. And it's kind of a win-win. It helps somebody out who's fighting breast cancer or some sort of cancer for the golf tournament, and then helps us stay in touch with our clients and our database. And it's all for a good cause. So, but like I said, database is the big one. The client events, for sure.
So for agents out there right now trying to figure out like their business, I'm talking to a lot of agents, the business is down 50%, right?
Yeah.
You know, they were working with a lot of investors. That was probably, 20 to 30% of their business. And also the clients sitting on the sidelines right now, right? There's a lot of buyers out there that, the interest rates were fairly low and now they're just getting accustomed to it. We're seeing some of those guys come back, but how are you navigating through this shift with those?
Just, being real honest and having the tough conversations with our sellers, because they might be basing their price on 3 months ago, which you can't do anymore, right? So having the tough conversations and with buyers, it's they're in a better place now. Obviously, there's more to choose from, but their payments more, right? The rate's higher, their payments more, the affordability is not there, so that's tough. But mainly with the sellers is just keeping it real with them,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just wasting their time and ours. So you don't want to take an overpriced listing you're not going to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of production are you guys focused on? Like, what's your target or goal this year to hit?
We did a little over 100 million last year. I want to say like 105. So I'm gonna obviously like to do more than that this year. I'd like to get to 125. So I mean, we're selling houses still. We're struggling, but we were working hard last year for our buyers. It was easy to sell for the sellers. It was easy, but now it's shifted. So I told my team, you were working hard last year. You just got to work hard this year still, but just different. Shift your focus to work a little harder for the sellers, and not as hard for the buyers, Still hard. It's not easy, but just, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then what kind of percentage base are you off on listings, or more listings this year than last year and less buyers this year?
Yeah, I would say I haven't counted those numbers, but yeah, I would say so for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so part of your plan, just, hey, you guys got to work a lot more in the prospecting methods that they're comfortable with, and versus going out there and getting offers rejected like we all experienced over the last few years, right?
Yeah, more networking, more belly to bellies, and just do everything and do it consistently. Videos big now, social media, reels on Instagram are huge. So being consistent with social media is a big one. We talk about it if not every day, every week for sure. So yeah, back to the basics. Like I said, we're doubling down on those. We're still farming and,
how many homes are you farming?
Neighborhoods?
Yeah.
I mean, personally myself, I probably I have a lot, but, I have probably over a dozen,
Okay.
but, I mean, I'd start small with my new agents. Hey, pick the neighborhood you live in, or you sold a house in, or, with some good turnover, and then start there. And it takes a long, long time though to farm and get success. I mean, I feel like most people give up after 2-3 years, and it's probably the worst thing you could do,
Yeah. And how long have you been farming those neighborhoods that you're farming?
I mean, 25 years for one neighborhood in particular that I started sitting open houses in. Most of them for a long time, but it takes time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what are 2 tips that you can give agents right now that they can implement in their business that we haven't talked about yet, or something that they should really focus on?
I mean, database, I would just say, hey, double down your database, be yourself, your
Do you
network.
think they should do video towards their database, or belly to belly? What do you think on that?
Yeah, both, all the above, pop buys, postcards, like all the above. Just hammer it hard
Okay.
in every which way you can,
Yeah.
and be consistent with it. Like, just don't do it once, and if it didn't work once, don't give up. Like, keep doing it every month, every quarter, or whatever. So have a plan and stick to it. You want it to be top of mind, right? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's more than 2 things, but
yeah, no, that's good. That's good. So you said pop buys, that's a Buffini term, right?
Uh-huh.
And are you coaching with Buffini in his organization, or?
No, we're not.
Okay.
I didn't know that, but I know who he is. But yeah, they work. I just sent out some Krispy Kreme gift cards to my database. I send them my Cardinals schedule. I send them a calendar every end of the year. Holidays are easy. That's kind of called a softball. Those are easy ways to touch base with your database.
Yeah. So if someone wants to reach out to you, join your team, or has a referral for you, because I'm going to post this a whole bunch of different places, can you share your contact information?
Oh, yeah. Website's darwinwallteam.com. My number is 602-625-2075. You can call, text there. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram is at DW Team. So we're all over the place.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you taking the time to share your knowledge with everybody here that's viewing this, and we'll talk soon. All right, everybody.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.